Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai, 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 Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and honors and salutations to all you Akim out there that's laboring in His truth and sincerity without wavering. And this is gonna be called a nuclear apocalypse is coming. It's coming, baby. All right, it's coming, man. Coming to a state near you, a city near you. Hey, this is just going, more on the prophecies of the nuclear missiles, which is the Lord's arrows. All right, we see the time that we in. Everything is going according to the plans of the Most High, and it's a beautiful time. They're going from the jab to the charagma. We're watching these things take place. They're applying that force. It's a time of Jacob's trouble. And what's going to cap it off, the fire that is speaking about, because a lot of time, which at the end of the day, like the elites, they know, all right, just by certain movies and everything. So in this one, we're going to go into it, Lord willing, we get through it. It's a lot of information that the Spirit gave me on this, which, I mean, this is, one of the a basic topic, but it goes deep. You go deep into this thing, man, because really, when you look at the nuclear missiles, that's the Most High's weaponry, his armory, you see. So, I got a few clips and articles. We'll see what the Spirit allowed me to bring out. And, if the Spirit allowed me to do another part on it, I will. But I'm going to go according to the Spirit and see what we could get into. All right, so this is Isaiah 34. We'll start off here, 34:1. It says, "Come near, ye nations, to hear." And this nuclear destruction is going to involve all the other nations. Why do you think the Most High is allowing? So you got to remember, the Most High controls everything, man. Everything. The Spirit had us going into that at the camp, man. How the Lord controls both sides of the battle. And that's why you got this devil, Esau. He's trying to be like the Most High. That's why they create what they call the theater of war. But at the end of the day, these dummies don't even realize that they're basically pushing prophecy, okay? They're going according to the Most High's plan, even though they stage these different wars and events. Because why? It coincides with the prophecy. But it says, "Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world and all things that come forth of it. For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations." Because ain't none of these, they'd say, "Oh, well, China's going to take over next," or Russia, ain't none of these motherfuckers going to take over next. None of these other nations. It's about Yasha Allah. That's why we say Kwam Yasha Allah, which means rise Israel. The real Israelites, the Most High is coming back. He's sending his son back to what? To destroy these nations and deliver the real Israelites. But as simultaneously, the Lord's going to be pouring his indignation on these other nations in the form of the fire from those nuclear missiles, okay? So it said he have utterly destroyed them. He have delivered them to the slaughter. Speaking about these missiles. All right, now let me go to Second Ezra 16. I'm gonna start the first verse. It says, "Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Gird up yourselves with cloths." That's speaking about America and the other nations. "Gird up yourselves with cloths of sack and hair, and bewail your children, and be sorry." Because why? World War III is going to be capped off by nuclear destruction. So it says, "For your destruction is at hand." So that's how close. We're close to this nuclear apocalypse. It said, "A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back?" All right? The Lord already, in other words, is declared that America is going to be destroyed by nuclear destruction. That's in the book. That's where we get in the book of Isaiah. Let me see. Go to Isaiah. Was it 14? Isaiah 14. All right. 20. 22. Well, let's read 21. It says, "Prepare slaughter for his children," meaning the children of Esau, which is the so-called white man. "Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, for the sins and all the wickedness that their forefathers have done." Okay, which that's reincarnation to those that understand. "That they do not rise nor possess the land nor fill the face of the world with cities." Meaning that what? After this devil is destroyed, he's not going to never come back into power again. It says, "For I will rise up against them, saith the Lord of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name, right? Which Babylon here is speaking about America, man. All right, and the Lord said He's gonna cut off that name, meaning as far as a remembrance. He said, and remnant and son and nephew, saith the Lord, because the Most High gonna stomp out America. America's gonna be totally destroyed by those nuclear missiles. And when I show you the articles, different articles, you're gonna see why. All right, it says, I will also make it a possession for the bittern, right, in the pools of water, and I will sweep it with the besom of destruction, saith the Lord of hosts. How those missiles are going to sweep across America and burn everything in sight, to where they're going to burn everything down. It's just going to be a wasteland, a desert. All right, and that's where bitterns, like owls and certain desert animals that live in the desert. That's the only thing that's going to be left here. But it said, the Lord of hosts have sworn, saying, surely as I have thought, so shall it come to pass. All right, so shall it come to pass. And as I have purposed, so shall it stand. So the Lord said it's going to stand. You can't turn back this destruction. That's why I said a sword is sent upon you, which the sword represents destruction. And who may turn it back? A fire is sent among you. And this ain't even talking about those California fires that's burning out there. It's not speaking about the volcano that's erupting over there by Spain and the Canary Islands. They ain't talking about that. It's talking about the fire from the nuclear missiles that everybody is wondering about. They try to act like they're not there, but Esau knows, and they do studies trying to figure out how they're going to survive. You're not going to survive, all right? Except for the elite. Not every last devil's going to die, because we do need slaves. But the majority, every devil, whoever's in America is going to die. It says, plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? And all these missiles, because it's not just like it's one missile. So you had Hiroshima and Nagasaki, however you say it. Those are what, 1, 2 missiles, right? 2 bombs they dropped or whatever. This is hundreds of thousands of fucking missiles, man, coming to this place, man. Okay, 144, I just peeped that. All right? You see what I'm saying? So it says, plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? May any man drive away a hungry lion in the wood? And that's how if a hungry lion coming for your ass, you toast, man. All right? If you stumble and cross the wood, you toast. All right? You seen what a lion to do. They catch you out there, man. It says, or may anyone quench the fire and stubble when it hath begun to burn. So may one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer. All right? The strong archer is the Most High, because why? He created these missiles. All right? And see, Esau, that's why Esau is going to be deceived, because he's thinking in his mind that he got something to do with that. No, the Most High gave you the blueprint. All right? And that's why he said it clearly. Hold up. In the book of Isaiah over here, right? We come back to that, Lord willing. Let's go to Isaiah real quick. 54, I believe it is. 54 and 16. See, it says, behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, and I have created the waster to destroy. So what do these missiles do? They destroy, and that's why really they don't really want to use the missiles. They like to use them as an intimidation factor. But the fact of the matter is, if America got a missile, nuclear missiles, then Russia know that they got to have nuclear missiles, so that way America don't come and do the shit that they normally do, and like they always did, bully them, take over their country, turn it into third world countries like they did. And then that's why now the Lord raised these other countries up to where they got nuclear capabilities, because it's all for the Lord's purpose, man. You see? So that's why he said, behold, I have created the smith. The smith is the person that's actually creating the weapon. All right? The scientists are the ones with this weapon, because the scripture's telling in Isaiah that this is going to be a different war. It ain't going to be like the old school war. This is going to be with the burning and the fuel of fire, which is coming from these nuclear missiles. You see? It says, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, and I have created the waster to destroy. America's going to be destroyed by thermonuclear missiles. So now, real quick, let me go to one of the videos that I got. Right? Which Esau, and this movie's from inside the Doomsday Bunker for the Super Rich. About a year old. I think other brothers might have used it, or the apostles, if I remember right, or whatever. And check this out. See, they showing.
When it comes to the apocalypse, nothing's quite as terrifying as nuclear war. So, when the nuclear apocalypse comes, are we going to get blasted back into the Stone Age? Or can we use our heads and survive the end of days with the help of technology?
Hell no. Hell no. And see, and that's why, and that's, Shalaki, y'all, you know more than likely I'm going to be starting and stopping this a lot, but you got to, you got to deal with the scriptures, man. I mean, those videos are good and all that, but let's get what the scriptures say. All right? Let's deal with what the scriptures say right here. Because, she said, can we help ourselves with technology? I'm going to go straight to it. Obadiah chapter 1, verse 3. It says, the pride of thine heart have deceived thee. Right? They deceive. How the hell you think you could survive or stop a nuclear missile? And see, and the thing is, okay, they might say, well, they got these fallout shelters, and it's crazy. Like I said, with the city of Kansas City, they out there they turned some of the bunkers into they're gonna go into some of the nuclear silos, right? That the old nuclear silos, they turned them into bunkers, and they dug deep in the earth. But they still gonna get caught, man. The scriptures tell you that clearly in Amos, man. All right, Amos in that 9th chapter. So, matter of fact, I'm going to read it real quick. Let me just get that real quick. Amos chapter 9. All right. Amos chapter, I started the first verse. I saw the Lord standing upon the altar, and he said, smite the lintel of the door, that the posts may shake, and cut them in the head, all of them. Okay, they're not going to escape. Those missiles are going to destroy their whole kingdom, man. All right. It said, and I will slay the last of them with the sword. He that fleeth of them shall not flee away. Because why? You have these elite. And that's why, again, they're all into this trying to go into outer space. Why you think they want to escape? Because they know that America, all right, as well as the rest of the world, is heading into a nuclear apocalypse, or a nuclear holocaust. They know that these things are happening. So that's why they're trying to flee. All right, matter of fact, let me get that. I did have, it's going to move around, jump around a bit here and there. But I looked up the word nuclear apocalypse, if I could find it. Bear with me. Bear with me. I'll just put it in. I'll put it in here again. Got lost what tab I had it on. Just bear with me. Right, nuclear apocalypse, which comes up as nuclear holocaust. And all you see is what? Mushroom clouds, pardon me. Which, that's what's coming, you see? So now it says a nuclear holocaust, nuclear apocalypse, or an atomic holocaust is a theoretical scenario. All right, and it's not theory, it's really prophecy, where the mass detonation of nuclear weapons causes globally widespread destruction and radioactive fallout. And this is what the moment that they feared. They're saying, okay, Slick Rick had a song, this was the moment I feared. Well, this is the moment that these devils are feared, man. All right, this is the thing that they was hoping didn't happen, man. All right, nuclear holocaust, man. All right. And then they show you the different movies, which the day after is when I'm gonna watch it again. It's a scene in there that I'm looking for, right? I haven't seen it in a long time, but that's even though it ain't gonna be no day after for these devils, but you know what I'm saying. So now going into the nuclear, it says a theoretical scenario where the mass detonation of nuclear weapons causes globally widespread destruction and radioactive fallout. Such a scenario envisions large parts of the earth becoming uninhabitable due to the effects of nuclear warfare, potentially causing a collapse of civilization. Yeah, the collapse of this civilization. That's why the scriptures speak about for Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So it's not going to be the end of our civilization. That's where they got people all twisted and stuff. People think, well, we all going to die. No, nigga. It ain't the time for you. You niggas is still so entrenched with death because that's where your mind is at. You got that negative, that Babylonian American mentality. You thinking about, oh, there's nothing else, this is it. You know, yeah, you're going to die because you ain't going to receive the truth, or if you don't receive the truth and repent and come back, yeah, you're going to die, but you're going to live again. That's what you don't realize, man. All right, and then things are going to change because, see, the Most High does things like that, man. All right, each nation, the Most High sets up certain nations, set up people in power, right? That's in Daniel's, man. Matter of fact, by the decree of the watchers. Let me get that real quick. I think it's the fourth chapter. I believe it's the fourth chapter of Daniel's. Let's see. Daniel's 4 and or maybe. Right, yep, this is it right here. Daniel's chapter 4, verse 17. It said, this matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men. Like right now, Esau, he's the lowest scum on the earth, but he's in power. And to prove that he's such scum, he's ruling. This is his world. He's in control of, and he's destroying his damn self, man. Destroying the world, the ocean, the sky. Everything is polluted, contaminated. The people, the minds of the people. He's turning everything upside down, pushing all this wickedness, nasty agenda, man. All right, hit to the point where they got to make these GMO foods, and a lot of the GMO food crops is them thinking that, okay, we got to store food for, just in case this thing happens. See, Esau thinks he has a backup plan for this destruction, but the Most High is going to have him in derision. All right? He think he's going to have people in derision, but the Most High going to really have Esau in the trick bag, man. All right? That was all we wanted from that verse. Okay? So now, going back to the scriptures, it says, I saw the Lord standing upon the altar, and he said, smite the lintel of the door, that the posts may shake, and cut them in the head, all of them. And I will slay the last of them with the sword. He that fleeth of them shall not flee away, and he that escapeth of them shall not be delivered. All right? Because why? It says, though they dig into hell, which if we get far enough into the video, they're going to show you about how these bunkers they go 12 stories, some go 20, 33 different depths into the earth. All right, they said, I believe the Pentagon is supposed to 666 feet in the earth or something like that. So they got different layers and everything. They think that they're gonna hide and then come back out and rebuild, because there's in the spirit. They think that they could destroy shit and they'll just rebuild it. That's why they don't give a fuck about killing off this and killing. They like, oh, we'll just find a way to scientifically recreate the ocean front, and create new land and weather, and that's Esau. That's the pride of his heart. All right, but the Lord said, though they dig into hell, then shall my hand take them. Though they climb up to heaven, like I said, how they climbing up to heaven? All right, they ain't on a ladder that's going into these clouds, but they get into these spaceships and rockets and everything. The Lord said, though they climb into heaven, Salakia, it said, though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down. Though they hide themselves in the top of Carmel, which is the mountains, I will search and take them out thence. And though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, because under the floor of the ocean, they got, they dig up under there, just like they'll dig a tunnel to go up. Because when they dig a lot of those tunnels, they which I never even understood that concept. Elder Zion was breaking it down. That brother was an expert at geography and stuff. That's, one of the blessings the Most High gave that brother. But when he broke it down, which I mean, it's simple, but I ain't know, man. I dropped out a couple times, 7th grade, I ain't know, man. But they dig under the earth when they make these tunnels for your pass, like when you're going down to DC and you go through that long ass tunnel, you're going under a bed of water. So Esau knows all about that. They got tools and stuff where they can measure bedrock. They call it bedrock. So they go underneath bedrock and they make cities under there. They got cities underneath the city. Okay, That's why sometimes you hear about people that's, the because if you go too deep, just like in the water, it's a certain pressure and the air and everything changes. Sometimes people die and it collapses in certain places. But Esau built, the point is, Esau built a lot of goddamn bunkers because why? They know that it's imminent and it's evident about this, for this destruction to happen. And as they, reading, going back into what they have in Wikipedia on it, which is true, they said it would be the collapse of civilization. So they want to figure where they could go and hide, right? Which, which proves that they're not the Lord's people, should I say? Because if they were, then they will already be able to hide. All right, like which we gonna do? The scriptures tell you that when the Lord delivers us, we're gonna hide ourselves for a moment until the indignation overpass in the book of Isaiah. All right, but now, and matter of fact, since I quoted that, let me bring that out real quick. I'm gonna go back to the video, but just you brothers know how I go, man. We jump around. Bear with me. Yeah, here we go. Isaiah 26. Isaiah 26. It says, "Come, my people," and it's going with Revelation 11th chapter. "Come up hither, enter thou into thy chambers," meaning the elect being delivered up into the chariot. So there's chambers, and it's heavy because that brother had the dream of there being. He was up in a chariot, and there was all kind of different rooms with different men and brothers and everything. So it says, "Enter thou into thy chambers and shut thy doors." All right, shut the doors. Shut thy doors about thee, hide thyself as it were for a little moment until the indignation be overpassed. So remember, we read about the indignation, right? In what was that, the 34th chapter, right? Which is, indignation means righteous anger. All right. So it says, for a moment until the indignation be overpassed, meaning the destruction. Those nuclear missiles go and do what they're gonna do, which they're gonna destroy Esau, the earth, and everything like that. It says, "For behold, the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai come out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity." So Yahweh Shai simultaneously, remember, he's gonna come here and he's gonna be destroying and killing and shooting fire from the so-called UFOs, which are the chariots of the Lord. That Yahweh Shai and the holy angels are gonna be coming back on. So this is the prophecy, man. This is real deal stuff that's about to happen. This is gonna happen. And it's crazy, man, because it's like crazy to realize that this is going to happen in our time. Lord willing, we endure to the end. You got to endure daily. Daily is a battle, and it's a fight. And you got to fight. And this is the greatest movie of all time. This is the most awaited, all right? And it's going to, trust me, it's going to be well worth the wait, okay? It said, "The earth also shall disclose her blood and shall no more cover her slain," because why? The Most High is going to bring judgment and destroy these devils that spilt our blood in his land. You see? Jake be worrying about the wrong things, man. This is what you're supposed to be watching out and waiting for, man. All right? But, kind of a little bit all over. So let's go back to this little video real quick to see how much more we're going on this.
Here in beautiful Colorado, one man is already thinking about the end of the world. Professor Brian Toon is an atmospheric scientist and an expert on nuclear winter. Brian, level with me. How likely...
And these are like the scriptures speak about their prognosticators, and, because Esau, he has these scientists, which a lot of them are witches or whatever, but they go back into our records and they study what the prophets were saying and they watch our videos. So this is, guys, that Esau looks to for answers.
is an all-out nuclear war, and should I be finding a bunker right now?
You never know for sure, because that's one of the real terrifying things here, is that one person in the United States and one person in Russia could decide all by themselves to have a nuclear.
And you see that? He said one person in the United States and one person in Russia. Why do all these people that speak about, and the Cold War was supposed to have been over with already, right? So why do they keep speaking about the United States and Russia as if that's where the nuclear war is going to be between? Well, because it is, okay? That's the prophecy, man. All right? And it's spiritual, because the Most High is making, even like most of these movies deal with Russia and the United States engaging in nuclear war. You know, all these like nuclear type movies, majority of them deal with the United States and America, man. And that's the prophecy, you know, going into Ezekiel, all right, as well as Jeremiah.
Conflict.
How many nukes are there around the world? Who has them?
There are about 14,000 nuclear weapons in the world. More than 1,000 of them are held by Britain, France, India, Pakistan, Israel, and China. Each of those countries have.
And see now he's pointing out these different areas where they have nuclear missiles. So those are areas that the United States have their targets on. All right. So now we'll grab the map with the targets in it, right? Which these are the 1,100 declassified U.S. nuclear targets. You see, German, Hindi, Korea, Japan, Russia, right? But they they have it marked over here. Pretty much the same places that a lot of the areas that he was speaking about. You see? So these are all the targets. So that's why it's not just America that's going to get hit. A lot of times people think that we just saying, nah, it's going to be other targets, but America is going to be the primary place, or the primary target, all right? Which, you know, that's why if you look up, you know, with the FEMA maps and everything about the nuclear targeted sites in America, pretty much the whole America, you can see it is red, all right? And you see you got Kansas and Colorado right there, all right? Kansas and Colorado, which out in the Midwest, you know, which they have a lot of their silos and stuff at one point, and they still do. They got them up in the north too, in upstate New York and other parts. You know, they got nuclear silos, you know, but these are all targeted areas, man. All right. And that's why the scriptures speak about it being a lake of fire, because imagine if all that was just fire to look like a lake if you had a view from, you know, on high. All right. So that's what he's going into. He's showing you the targets of these places, because these are people that have the
as 200 or 300. Then Russia and the United States have 90% of the missiles.
So the lesson is everyone
Russia and the United States have 90% of the missiles. Okay.
Has nukes now. But what exactly happens when these bombs go off?
If you're knocking over concrete buildings, you're going to blow people to pieces. So there's a range of going out from distance in which you die from the blast wave tearing you to pieces, the radiation burning you up.
Yeah, see, so that's showing you the impact of these nuclear missiles, man. All right, it's showing you the impact. Now, matter of fact, I think we was in Isaiah 34 earlier, right? Then go to Isaiah 34, go back there, and go into a few more scriptures showing you about the power of these missiles. Right, so now it says Isaiah 34:2, for the indignation, which we showed you that indignation is those missiles, and that's just showing you a glimpse, because it's going to be even worse than that, you know. And they even tell you, because Esau knows, man. But it said, for the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He have utterly destroyed them. He have delivered them to the slaughter. So the slaughter is what, which is World War III. But at the end of the day, as these nations are fighting against each other, then they engage in battle with Yahweh Shai, and Yahweh Shai, which is the Lord, the Son of the Most High. As he returns, he's going to destroy, you know, the scriptures say the slain of the Lord shall be many. He's going to be destroying nations, armies, running through them easily in seconds. All right, it said they're going to get smoke beaten in the powder when you read in 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter. So then after that, the end it all off, to cap it off, is going to be the nuclear missiles. So that's why the Spirit is on me to bring this out, because this is going to bring a closure, and it ain't over until it's over, man. All right, just like you watching, a so-called sports event. You can be watching a basketball game or whatever. It could be a blowout and people go home. And then they end up waking up finding out that the other team came back and won. It went into overtime, triple, quadruple overtime. It's not over till it's over. So that's why you got to stay for the whole event. Just like a same thing in boxing. Here it is, you have a guy, he's fucking dominating the dude all the way to the last round, right before the bell, then bow, he just get laid out. You see, it's not over till it's over. All right? It's not over till it's over. So it says, the slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood. And all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. All right, speaking about what? From the nuclear missiles. All right, because when they hit, they leave a mushroom cloud. Let me see if I can go back on just to show that part again.
Light wave burning you or out from distance in which you die from.
Everyone has nukes now.
See that mushroom cloud right there? So that's what the scripture is speaking about. Rolled together like a scroll.
But what exactly happens when these bombs go off?
If you're knocking over concrete buildings, you're going to blow people to pieces. So there's a range of going out from distance in which you die from the blast wave tearing you to pieces, the radiation burning you up, the light wave burning you or catching you on fire.
What happens when...
Well, that's the scriptures, man. We get that in 2 Peter's. There's a couple of scriptures, man. But, just through the Spirit, just showing you how this is prophesied, and the Most High is going to bring this destruction. All right, this is 2 Peter chapter 3. Let's get to the point for the interest of time. Verse 9. It said, the Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long suffering to usward, not willing that any should perish. So not willing that any should perish is pertaining to the usward. Us is when you say us, you're not talking about everybody. So I'm gonna read that again, because a lot of times people they're little illiterate when it comes to reading. It says, the Lord is not slack concerning his promise, right? Meaning him, the Most High. All right, the supreme Yahweh, the great Yahweh, the omnipotent Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, as some men count slackness, because in this flesh, you say you're gonna do something, but then you might end up not doing it. The Most High is not like that, and you might think that he forgot, but the Most High don't forget nothing, man. All right, you might think you got away with doing some slick shit, but you don't get away. I mean, you got time to repent. You see, it said, but is long suffering to us word, not willingly that any of us should perish. Okay, that's how that should be read for better understanding. Because a lot of people think that it's speaking about the whole world. So not that any of, meaning in other words, the Most High, he didn't create Israel to be slaves for the rest of our lives, to just sit there and be destroyed in this fucked up state that our people are in right now. All right? But that all should come to repentance. All Israelites. Okay, and then you go to other scriptures that tell you that the same thing. All right, but it said, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise. Which, speaking about, because of the smoke from the mushroom cloud and everything, it blocks out the sun. All right, so that's what it's going into. And also, too, speaking about the other nations. Okay, because heaven is a position of rulership. So all these other nations that are in power right now, that are ruling, the superpowers of the world, they also going to lose their rulership, so it's twofold. It says, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise from those missiles, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up. So all these buildings and everything are going to be destroyed and burnt and melted by those nuclear missiles. Because why? Going back to the book of Malachi 4:1, it says, for behold, the day cometh, all right, that shall burn as an oven. Because why? It's going to turn America into a big goddamn oven. It said, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. So that's, as he's speaking about the missiles burning certain people or burning whatever's in his path, yeah, that's the Lord. And then the Most High, his spirit is going to be in that. Because remember, the Most High is a consuming fire.
And day one, a week later, a year later, what are we looking at?
Well, when a nuclear weapon explodes, it sends out a burst of light. It's like bringing a piece of the sun, which is nuclear explosions happening, down to the earth. And that burst of light catches everything around it on fire.
That fire sends huge amounts of smoke into the stratosphere. But because it doesn't rain up there, it takes years for that smoke to clear, creating a nuclear winter.
Blocks sunlight from reaching the ground, which of course makes it cool off. It gets cold at the ground. And people expect that about 90% of the global population will die.
And bear in mind, those are old atomic what do you call it? Tests. All right. They've enriched these nuclear missiles even more. In other words, these missiles are even stronger now than what you're seeing. You see? So that's why the scriptures say that the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, man. All right. So I'm gonna stop it right here. And if the Lord allow, I gotta say it that way. I mean, I really probably didn't get to none of the scriptures that I had written down, but Lord willing, be able to come back and go more into this, with a second part, because it's a lot of good information and things dealing with prophecy and showing you how Esau think that they're going to be ready, but really they're not going to be ready, and these nuclear missiles are going to be the end of all, and that's why they really don't want to use them, but the Lord is going to cause them to be shot off, you see. So that's why these things must happen. Everything that's happening is according to prophecy, and we're looking for these things to happen, man. We're praying that when the scriptures say, "Give the Lord no rest," we're praying that the Most High, bring the destruction, as soon as possible, and praying the Lord deliver us, because we don't got to be afraid of this, as long as we continue doing what the Lord said. If you're doing the right thing with Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, then there's a chance and a hope that you're going to be delivered and taken from these things before the missiles hit. But it's going, it's going to be a close call, if you will. But anyway, with that, I'm gonna end it there. Give all glory and honor to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Say shalom to you, sincere Akim. Shalom.